Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to the world famous Weather for Weather Geeks Tuesday evening edition here on the 27th day of August here in 2019. Pretty gloomy day out there today. Clouds blanketed the region. That really kept a lid on temperatures for our sixth consecutive day now. We had a cooler than average high temperature. 72 is the best we could do at the Youngstown Warren Airport at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Average for today's date is 79. The record high 96. The record low back in 1969, 43. Degrees. So yeah, another relatively cool day considering how warm it was earlier on this month. Now it was fairly humid today. Dew points were elevated, and now finally these clouds are starting to become a little bit productive. As of 7 o'clock p.m. we had a couple of showers from Niles and Mineral Ridge and Lordstown up to Warren as well, and then a more substantial area of showers just to our west. This actually had a decent amount of thunder and lightning with it earlier on when this was closer to Worcester, not getting as many lightning strikes detected over the last half an hour or so as this has moved across I-77, Canton, Akron, down towards Zoar, Dover, and New Philly. So thunder is becoming perhaps a little less likely around here, but I think a lot of us will see at least a couple of showers before the evening is through. Now, again, it wasn't a warm day today, but it was a humid day. Dew points are in the upper 60s. But off to our north and west, this is the air mass that's heading our way tomorrow, giving us a comfortable, beautiful Wednesday. Coming up Wednesday and Thursday, both looking very good. You'll see those dew points go in the right direction for most of us anyway. We like it when those dew points drop into the 50s, and they'll do so tomorrow, setting the stage for a beautiful afternoon and, again, a real winter coming up on Thursday. So our cold front pushes east, sunshine, fair weather clouds tomorrow, a lot of sunshine coming our way on Thursday. Now, what I've done with Friday's forecast is I've inserted a 20% chance of a passing shower. We've got this weak front coming in on Friday. This might be able to touch off a renegade shower, but I really don't think it's going to be a whole lot. So 20% chance that you get a quick shower, but most of us miss out on that. So for opening day at the Canfield Fair on Wednesday, temperatures in the morning in the mid-60s, still pretty warm for an early morning low, but the afternoon will be a little bit below average once again with about 77 degrees. No chances for rain Wednesday, and again, a noticeable decrease in the humidity for the afternoon. Rest of our fair forecast. Notice Friday we have that low-end chance, and I've also stuck a low-end chance of a shower in Sunday's forecast. We have another front in the vicinity on Sunday, and that may spark a couple of showers. Going to keep it at a low-end chance for right now, but the bottom line really hasn't changed for the Canfield Fair forecast. It still looks very, very comfortable. And before we get off the subject of the fair, bear with me for a moment while I grab one of our Canfield Fair-related graphics here. I'd like to bust this one out. At this time of the year, we start talking about Canfield Fair weather history. Last year was a hot one. Let me get out of the way here. Last year, it was one of the top 5 hottest fairs dating back to the 1960s. I went back to 1965 when I made this graphic, and it was a top 5 warm fair week in 2018. 2016 was remarkably hot, almost as hot as the hottest fair since the 60s, the mid-60s. That was back in 1973. Average high temperatures, of course, at this time of the year, as I just mentioned, are in the upper 70s. We were below average in 2017 after a very average 2016, but again, last year was a hot one. When it comes to daily extremes during the fair, hottest Canfield Fair dating back to the mid-1960s was on August 29th, 1991, when it was a scorching 96 degrees. Coolest high temperature was on September 2nd, 2006. It was only 58. And the wettest day at the fair, dating back to 1965, was in 1965 on September 1st, 1.65. Now, all of these numbers are valid at the Youngstown Warren Airport, of course. That's not where the fair is, but that's where we have records. So that's what these numbers are based on. We don't, unfortunately, have weather records in Canfield at the fairgrounds. It'd be nice if we did, but we have to use the numbers up in Trumbull County at the airport. All right, before we get back to our local forecast, let's talk about Dorian, tropical storm that impacted the Lesser Antilles earlier on and now is taking aim on Puerto Rico and parts of Hispaniola eventually as well. This is a tropical storm with 50-mile-per-hour winds, gusts to 65, pressure at about 1,005 millibars. All right, where's this going? This is going northwest. And this will likely impact parts of the Bahamas at the end of the week, and then perhaps the Florida Peninsula over the weekend. Now, you're going to hear me say this a lot when we talk about tropical weather as we head into prime tropical season over the next 6 weeks or so. there's a cone of uncertainty here. Your eye is automatically and naturally drawn to the middle of the cone. But what this cone means is it's just as likely to be here as here. Yes, the icon is in the middle, but either side of this cone is just as likely of a location at the end of this sequence as the middle. So this could be closer to the Keys, this could be closer to Jacksonville. Far northern solution may have it, perhaps impacting parts of Georgia, maybe parts of South Carolina. North Carolina looks like is off the hook with this. Florida, though, I would say is the most likely target at this point. Whether it's South Florida or North Florida, it's too early to say. So if you have friends or relatives that live in Florida, are vacationing in Florida, maybe leaving on a cruise out of Florida in the coming days, check back often with the forecast. This is not likely to be some sort of devastating hurricane or anything, but a high-end tropical storm, perhaps a low-end hurricane, that's going to be a possibility for the weekend, especially on Saturday in Florida. All right, longer range trends around here. Still seeing a distinct lack of heat as we look at the longer range. This is the 8 to 14 day outlook, showing at the very least kind of a neutral pattern and perhaps even a somewhat cooler than average pattern. Precipitation trends, kind of a low end chance of above average precipitation in the longer range, but it's not a real strong signal. Tomorrow evening, and then I think especially Thursday evening on Weather for Weather Geeks, we're going to be talking about the September forecast. Earlier this month, I was pretty convinced that September would be a pretty hot month compared to the average. I'm not as confident as we get closer to September that that's going to be right. A warmer than average month, I think, is still on the table, but an unusually hot September is seeming a little less likely than it did a couple of weeks ago. So we're going to talk more in depth about the September forecast and an update on the tropics later on this week on Weather for Weather Geeks, and of course Canfield Fair weather updates coming your way as well. Thanks for checking out tonight's video. Have a great Tuesday night, everyone.